30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They ain't thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They just took it to 10.
S-T-R-O. Yeah. How many of y'all came to win? Oh, they asking my name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Yeah. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. Yeah. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. Yeah. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know. You ain't never.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 10 Tucson. Ready, go.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. There goes Mark Ingram. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A huge play there right off the bat. Give him 58 yards on the ground. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has, the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Here we go.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 76 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. We less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good game there on first down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Squeeze, get in there. Lock it. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They toss to Mixon. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ready. Not a wolf. On it. Come on, baby.
This time, Jackson will throw it. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 49-yard line.
Right. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now Joe Mixon. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 35-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Alpha. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Dancing to his left. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Throwing is Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson throwing on target to Brown.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Here's Jackson, and he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, Jackson. And an alley to run. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. Jackson from the shotgun. And this one's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff looking right. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? He may try and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Going deep downfield for Ross. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Jackson stepping up. He's going to keep it. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. That's good for a Raven first down. 15 yards there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Jackson. Out to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Patrick Owasor able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. They're going to look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Jackson on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's got this one complete to Perriman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Forced out to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 57-yard.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Let's go first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Watch the safety creep.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. That is caught. It's Perriman. A 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Jackson now. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. He's crashing.
4th down, here's Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And to give this time to the tailback. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
Here we go. It's a game. Watch the curve.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Step, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. And those 3 rushing touchdown games in this league, you know darn well, those are hard to come by. They're becoming even harder to come by as the years go by, aren't they?
Isn't that the truth? It doesn't matter what you do in terms of game planning. You may be a run-first team, but you're running against an NFL defense. That's some of the biggest, fastest, best athletes on the planet. Hard to do. Cherish that moment, even as he's eager to add to that total.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Mixon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
You waste no trap. You warp it.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Patrick Owasor bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. They'll drop the throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Come get some. Come on.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now they try the right side here. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Now Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. He can run for it, and he will. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 62 yards. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Tucker with the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with a gain.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Rush in. Exit.
2nd and 15. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
I don't know how many times not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And he'll give it here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on second down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous. Put up. 52. Here I come. Go. I got it.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one. I know you felt that one.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
A 2-yard loss on the play. It's 3rd and 11.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Jackson to throw. Steps away to his left. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 24 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown.
Next to score, Ravens 38, Bengals 31.
So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be about a yard or two short of the first here. He needed the 35 but didn't make it. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
A 53-yard attempt.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Ravens, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.